Alrighty everyone, welcome back. It is now September 2nd of 2025, and given that the whole Meghan Markle ratings disaster is still getting worse behind the scenes over at Netflix, especially for those out there like CEO Ted Sarandos, the many executives, the producers, and even the board of directors that are on Ted's side, that are really trying to play damage control at this point over why With Love Meghan Season 2 failed so hard in comparison to the first one. But let's be very real here, it's not a Season 2, it is indeed just a second part to Season 1. They only call it a Season 2 to create this facade that this actual show was actually picked up for a new season. This is Mike Zero. Subscribe if you're new and like this video to see future updates. You can also follow me at Mike01. I thank you also very much for the great and kind support. Now, one thing about Meghan Markle right now is that we know that she too is actually going into damage control mode, but she's also trying to elevate herself and really trying to make all these different announcements, delivering all these different types of news to the general public to really kind of elevate her overall self as an actress, as a personality, and it's just not working in the long run. Now, we know one thing about Meghan right now is that she's trying to grasp onto any possible situation that she can actually stay in Hollywood, stay in the industry, remain in this business, and so far, things just aren't working her way at all. Now, one thing about Meghan Markle right now, though, is that we already know that, yes, With Love Meghan Season 2 is such a major ratings disaster that little to no people are even talking about this show. In fact, there were a lot less critics that even gave the show a chance because of what they saw with Episode 1, and a lot of them tuned out just after that one. But what's interesting here has a lot more to do with Meghan Markle herself. Now, with the Meghan Markle ratings disaster only getting worse for Season 2 at Netflix, one major development going on now involves more to do with Meghan Markle revealing more news that is already labeled as a disaster, not just from the public, but also internally from within her very own team, such as her agent and manager, that are already urging her to backtrack from these new announcements. Meghan recently delivered the following in a desperate move. As a woman of color who is more than proud to be partnered with Netflix, I would like to address something very important in regards to my personal life and my professional life. One thing I would like to reveal to everyone today is that one of my greatest passions is writing. And what better way would there be to display what my life was like when I was pregnant than writing it in the form of a book and how we can incorporate that experience with a Netflix series. But my focus right now is a book to go through all of my experiences and hardships that I had to deal with when it involved the public view when I was pregnant years ago. This book that I am planning out right now will also dive deeper into new revelations related to my viral video post on Instagram that featured myself having so much fun while I was in that part of my life, and I think it's going to really inspire and change the minds of many critics out there who are currently naysayers about my future in this business. As always, I am looking to inspire others and to apply my experiences to others' lives in order to connect with other people. As for Netflix, I am hoping to create a documentary of sorts, and it's something that we are talking about seriously. A documentary about my pregnant life and what that was like years ago. Whether or not I will play myself is still up for grabs, but we are figuring it out to see how we can make that work. But we are seriously discussing it. Now guys, let me just say one thing about that. Now, the fact that she mentions a docu-series or a docu-special and says that her playing herself is up for grabs would suggest that she is actually going through the possibility of casting somebody else to play herself, to play Meghan Markle. And I think that would actually be even worse, to be quite honest with you guys. But what's interesting here is that the fact that she's so focused on doubling down on really just creating all of her content about her pregnant life, whether it's in the form of a book or an actual series on Netflix, this really just goes to show you that she's really trying so hard to undo all the negative criticism that came along with her infamous viral video post on Instagram, and she's trying to essentially, mow over that, right, with other material related to her pregnant life. But let's get into this further. She goes on to actually elaborate beyond that. Between this book and a docu-special about my pregnant life, I think it would provide me the tools to relate to so many hardworking mothers out there, and even single mothers, because there are so many uneducated women out there that just don't know how to handle themselves in this country, especially under this administration. My goal is to continue educating everyone about my pregnant life, and just how difficult it was with the public view against me. And you are going to learn more about that angle in this upcoming book of mine, and hopefully this documentary project project, once we get everything organized and all together, it's something that I have always wanted to do, and I am more than proud to say that it's now shaping up to be a reality. Now again, I mean, there she goes about how, you know, she's really all about trying to educate other people. Look, I don't think anyone wants to be educated by Meghan Markle, let alone by any celebrity or personality out there. And I've covered this many, many times, but people are just over it. They would rather have, you know, their loved ones, their friends, family members, even, of course, their own colleagues, to actually provide them lessons in life than a celebrity, than a personality, or somebody that's so, you know, much out there in their own world, right? And again, I mean, like I've said before as well, when you're looking at Meghan Markle here, she's trying to create any kind of an opportunity to prop herself up, right? She's so obsessively focused on her pregnant life, and really turning that essentially into a business now is utterly ridiculous. She tried to do this with social media, with her social media campaign. That backfired, and she too is also trying to double down on that again. We'll talk more about that in the coming days. What's interesting here, though, is the fact that she's still going at it against the critics, and is actually trying to say that these types of content, or this type of entertainment, is going to change the minds of many critics out there. Whether it's a book, or a documentary special, stuff like that, she believes it's going to turn around all of the critics out there that just despised her Instagram video. That's how, you know, that's how actually caught up she is within herself. She has no sense of reality. But what's interesting here again, she goes on to elaborate further. Those close to me urged me, maybe this wasn't the best move to make, but I'm a risk taker, and I wanted to take that risk because you never know when you can become successful by teaching others about knowledge that just doesn't exist out there in the world. So this is what I believe everyone has been waiting for, and I'm delivering it as I speak. Now, look, the fact that she says that this type of knowledge does not exist out there really makes you wonder to yourself, what in the world is she talking about? There are many books, videos, and other forms of, you know, media out there that teach women about pregnancies, right? And so the fact that she's saying that that type of knowledge just doesn't exist out there, that is extremely narcissistic, because she's trying to make it like she's the sole person to deliver that type of education to others. And again, I mean, I think that there comes a point in time when it makes you question to yourself, is she just really trying to be this utterly ridiculous to create a form of, you know, criticism against her, to create some buzz? Who knows at this point? But that's what it's most certainly sounding like at this point. You really can't be this stupid, right? But overall, I would like to hear what everyone has to say about this overall situation between herself, Netflix, the public view, and how she's just really doubling down on books, documentaries, new Netflix specials. The holiday special is another one coming up in a couple of months from now. That's going to be a very big one. Not positively speaking, by the way. But overall, I would love to hear what everyone has to say about this below in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel, and I will catch you guys later.